Have you ever seen anyone and thought to yourself, wow, this person is so tall? Well, you're going to have an even more shocking reaction by the time you're done with this video. We'll be revealing 15 real-life giants who are possibly taller than anyone you have ever met or ever seen. Real-life giant on Game of Thrones type people. Before we dive into this list, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you'd like to join this month's Star 5 giveaway of a brand new iPhone 12, then all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck! Number 15. Lindsay Hayward. American actress and professional wrestler Lindsay Hayward stood at 6 foot 9 inches, making her one of the tallest women ever to exist in the 21st century. Although her height was great for catching people's attention and featuring as the lead in several full-length movies, it was no easy ride. It was quite difficult for Lindsay to do normal things like fly in an economy class, get acting jobs, or go shopping for clothes. She talked about this on a show called My Giant Life, which went into detail on her struggles. In 2012, Lindsay officially became the tallest actress in a leading role, and this was certified by the Guinness World Records. However, she lost a few inches from her height when she suffered from a slipped disc. Number 14. The Great Khali. Although his birth name is Dalip Singh Rana, you're more likely to relate with this giant as the Great Khali. Standing at 7 foot 1 inch, he makes quite an impression everywhere he goes. He is an Indian professional wrestler, with his ring name giving him a lot of popularity, especially with his work on the WWE network. Before going into wrestling professionally, Great Khali worked as an officer for the Punjab police. While his parents are of regular height, his grandfather was almost 7 feet tall. However, his huge height is due to a condition known as acromegaly, which causes facial deformities and is linked with gigantism. Still, he put his condition to good use and ended up being the first Indian to win the World Heavyweight Championship in WWE. His height also comes at a cost to his pockets, as he spends a lot of sticking to his diet. In fact, the Great Khali is known to eat as much as 40 eggs in a day. Number 13. Neil Fingleton. Neil was about 7 feet 7 inches and once was a professional basketball player. However, after he had his fill of that sport, he decided that he wanted to explore his love for the screen, and so he got into acting and quickly made a mark for himself. Of course, his impressive height had something to do with it, as everyone looked really short beside him. Neil finally made his debut in 2011, where he was the bodyguard in X-Men First Class. Then he worked alongside Keanu Reeves in the movie 47 Ronin. Unfortunately, Neil didn't spend so much time on Earth. In 2017, he suffered from severe heart failure and died at the young age of 36. Number 12. Yao Defen. When Yao was born and weighed only 2.8 kilograms, no one had any idea that she would grow to eventually become the tallest woman at some point in her life. But that's what happened to Yao. By the time she was 11 years old, the young lady was already more than 6 feet tall. However, this condition was caused by a tumor in her pituitary gland, and her family tried to get a doctor to treat this. Unfortunately, they couldn't afford the 4,000 won needed for the surgery, making it futile to seek treatment. Although many companies were willing to train her into a star athlete, they had to abandon these plans because Yao was too weak. She eventually had to earn a living by performing alongside her father. Finally, a fundraiser campaign in 2002 meant Yao could afford surgery, and this stopped the growth only for a while. Only a few years later, the tumor was back, and Yao had to go in for emergency surgery. In November 2012, Yao lost the battle to her tumors as she couldn't afford treatment and died at the age of 40. Number 11. Igor Vovkovinsky. Born in 1989 with pituitary dysfunction, this Ukrainian ended up being 7 feet 8 inches in height. This had such a huge impact on his life that his family had to move to the United States to continue his treatment when he was 7 years old. However, despite going through 16 surgeries, this didn't stop his feet and back from growing. Reebok then gave Igor a gift of 3 pairs of custom shoes in 2012, with a total value of as high as $25,000. They even had the name Igor printed on them boldly. Number 10. Sun Mingming. This professional basketball player from China is believed to be the tallest basketball player in the world, as he stands at an impressive 7 feet 9 inches. He later met Zhu Yan at the National Games of China and fell in love with her. Zhu Yan is also a very tall person, as her 6 feet 1 inch height is far from being regular. It's the major reason why they are known as the tallest married couple in the world. Number 9. Jannat Ali. Jannat Ali is one big surprise from Bangladesh, as he was once the tallest man in that country. Standing at 8 feet 2.03 inches, Jannat towered over pretty much everyone in the city. He didn't even stop growing by the time he was 23 years old. Therefore, he had to eat more than 2 pounds of food daily to gain enough weight and necessary muscular mass to survive. His height was due to acromegaly, which means that his body produced too much growth hormone. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2018 and eventually lost his life to complications from this tumor in April 2020. Number 8. Leonidstadnik. The Ukrainian Leonidstadnik was born in the former Soviet Union in 1969. His family members noticed that he started growing excessively as soon as he clocked 14 years old. Eventually, doctors revealed that he had a brain tumor and would have to undergo surgery to have it removed. During this time when he suffered the growth spurt, he could not use the local buses as they were almost always full. Instead, he had to get around using a horse and cart. Even if he could find a spare seat on the bus, he was too tall to fit in. His height made him super popular in Ukraine. Unfortunately, he suffered a brain hemorrhage in 2014, and this was responsible for his death at 45. Number 7. Baozi Shen. This 7 foot 9 inches giant was a herdsman in China who was eventually recognized by the Guinness World Records as the world's tallest man in January 2005. But he lost this title in 2009 to another man that we will mention in this list. According to Baozi Shen, he was of normal height until he turned 16. Then he experienced a growth spurt that continued for several years. He went on to the People's Liberation Army before returning to work at the local hospital in his city for several months. Bao did enjoy a few perks of being one of the tallest men in existence, including appearing in a couple of television shows. Number 6. Naseer Sumro. Although Naseer was born as a normal child in 1975 and had a pretty much regular life for a while, his life changed drastically when he turned 10 years old. During that time, he suddenly got a fever and then started growing rapidly. A doctor revealed that he had excess growth hormones in his body. Unfortunately, his poor family couldn't afford the surgery needed to fix his pituitary gland. Naseer kept on growing until he reached 7 feet 10 inches. However, he's doing quite well for himself as he works in a reputable company in Pakistan despite suffering from interstitial lung disease at some point. Number 5. Asadullah Khan. The tallest man in India, Asadullah Khan, is 7 feet 11 inches. However, while most people around this height range are worried about fitting into small spaces, Khan had to deal more with extreme poverty. This made him miss out on all the simple things of life that we usually take for granted. Khan spends most of his time working for a construction company. Number 4. Brahim Takahula. This 8 foot 1 inch man was the second tallest living person in the world for a while. Born in Morocco, what really catches everyone's attention is Brahim's big feet. In fact, his feet were so big that they got the Guinness World Record for biggest feet. As you can expect, he couldn't find shoes that fit him until he had a custom pair made by his doctor. Number 3. Morteza Mezade. Also standing at 8 foot 1 inch is Morteza, who is the tallest man in Iran. Surprisingly, he's also a Paralympian, which makes him the tallest Paralympian ever as well. Morteza represents his country as a member of the national sitting volleyball team. Number 2. Radu. Standing at 7 foot 9 inches, Radu was known as the tallest man in the world. But that was until Baozi Shen took over in 2005. The ironic thing here is that Bao is only 2 millimeters taller. However, that doesn't take away the fact that Radu is a real-life giant. Number 1. Sultan Kosen. Sitting at the top of our list is none other than Sultan Kosen, who is currently the tallest living man in the world. He was even certified by Guinness World Records as having the largest hands in the world, and these are almost 1 foot. That is nothing short of amazing. After some surgeries to remove the tumor affecting his pituitary gland, he finally stopped growing in 2012. The next year, he got married to his Syrian girlfriend. And with that, we end today's video. Which real-life giant do you think should have made it to our list? And let's know your height. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.